What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you those 40 facts on the Warhammer 40K universe. Now, yesterday we touched base on the mutilators and the obliterators of the Chaos Space Marines, and to my surprise, they're actually not really pertaining to a Chaos God. They're kind of just doing their own thing, fighting for Chaos Undivided, and they have a little bit to do with the Demon Forge. But today, we are going to cover what makes an obliterator, and that is the Obliterator Virus. So let's go on and learn about this devastating disease. The origins of the Obliterator Virus lie within the infamous Eye of Terror. After the defeat at the Horus Heresy, Space Marines and Imperial Guard traders fled to the protection of the Eye, and there they were met with several virulent plagues never before encountered in the Materium. The most likely culprit amongst these plagues is none other than Nurgle's Rot, the famed virus amongst the Death Guard. However, chief apothecary of the Emperor's children, Fabius Bile, also experimented on various pathogens, viruses, and plagues, measuring the effect of the warp upon the biological structures, meaning that the Obliterator Virus might very well be a result of Bile's handiwork. This virus consumes its victims in 9 distinct stages, ranging from simple carriage to total absorption. Most carriers don't realize that they are infected until it's far too late. Since this virus takes an extended period of time to mutate and bond with the host, the creation of a fully fledged obliterator is very time-consuming and severely limits their numbers. The single exception to this rule rests within the secrets of the Iron Warriors, where obliterators are both far more prolific and they're also able to control the rampant mutations throughout their bodies. It is rumored that in order to increase their number of battle-ready obliterators, the warsmiths of the Iron Warriors may be infecting specific warriors with the Obliterator Virus, perhaps even at the behest of Perturabo, their Primarch. However, it has been proven that the Iron Warriors do intentionally affect certain people with this virus, or an altered version for that matter. Whether or not it is used to create more obliterators is unknown, nor it is confirmed that the Iron Warriors were not the ones to alter it. Perhaps that lies, once again, to Fabius Bile. Anyway, within the Imperium, mounting evidence suggests that the Obliterator Virus is active on worlds scorched by the wake of Abaddon the Despoiler's 13th Black Crusade, and it is in the process of spreading throughout the Imperium. Though the virus can only spread at a fraction of its normal strength in the Materium, worlds on sufficient numbers, this threat is growing. Just like other viruses, this Obliterator Virus is transferred through the use of bodily fluids, or simply by touch. Generally, the longer a person is in contact with an obliterator, the more chances they have of becoming infected. There are 9 stages, like I said before, and they do vary in length between people. It depends mainly on whether the carrier is aware and resisting the spread of the virus. On the other hand, this virus is much more rapid in those that welcome it, although the numbers of these people surely are very limited. Now let's begin with the infections, starting with the first stage. Stage 1. No obvious effects, but the victim is a carrier and can spread this disease to others. Stage 2. The carrier now finds themselves to be more at home with weapons. His aim increases, and his gun sits more naturally in his hands. Stage 3. The carrier finds themselves merging with their weaponry as if they hold it long enough. They also start to generate ammunition for the weapon that they are holding, a most disturbing development indeed. Stage 4. The victim is now in the very throes of obliteratorhood, with their armor no longer being able to be removed, and it seems to be able to repair itself as well. They also find their movement to be impaired, and their joints are rearranging and melding with the metal of their armor and weaponry. The 5th stage. By now, the victim finds that they can absorb small weapons, such as knives and pistols, and then recreate them at their own will, but only in small numbers at a time. Their sanity is also being impaired by now. The 6th stage. The victim's very own flesh is now made into a demonic melding of metal and skin, which adds to their armor, and it allows the absorption of many more complex weaponry. They no longer look human. Their body has bulged in places where weapons have been absorbed. The 7th stage. The body increases in both strength and fortitude in an attempt to counter the ever-increasing weight of their body. This makes them terrifying opponents in close combat. The 8th stage. The victim can now create things other than weapons, including bionic limbs and even organs. Their original body flesh and demonic metal are no longer distinguishable between the two. And finally, Stage 9. The final stage, which sees the creature as a fully fledged obliterator, and they can now use the heaviest of weapons in order to destroy their enemies. And with that, we now know what exactly the Obliterator Virus is and what it pertains to. Really interesting as to how it works and how you can just absorb things into yourself. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Akira. But anyway, guys, I know obliterators have changed drastically from 7th edition to 8th edition. I believe in 7th you were able to just pick, oh, las gun, bam, melta gun, bam. And now in this edition, 8th edition, it's like you roll 3 dice. One is for how many shots it fires, the second one is for the strength of the weapon, and the third one is for the AP value. So if you get a really bad roll, you're kind of screwing yourself over, but you can get a really good roll. 6 shots, strength 6 at -6 AP ain't that bad. That's actually pretty good, especially if you got 3 of them. Now, I'm pretty sure this virus works the same way if you got mutilators, which are the close combat versions of the obliterators. Now, I'm not sure how the mutilators are. I assume it's the same thing. You roll 3 dice, and that's the strength of your close combat attacks, but getting them into close combat, that's going to be the issue. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys like about the Obliterator Virus. Is it that maybe it's made by Nurgle, or perhaps it's Fabius Bile messing around? If you guys haven't read about Fabius Bile, I believe we did cover him, so check him out. I'll try to link the video at the end of this video if we did cover Fabius Bile. Not 100% sure. I feel like we did cover him, but maybe that was like a year or 2 ago. But anyway, guys, check out our archive of many videos. We got tons of them. If you want more 40K stuff, head on over to our Patreon page. Patreon is only a simple $1, and it lets you check out some more videos, such as creepypastas, Patreon specific for the Greater Walls, that kind of thing. Also, stay tuned because there will be a giveaway coming out soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And that's pretty much all I got. This was just a sweet, short episode on the Obliterator Virus and what it does to the body. So again, guys, leave all your comments down below, leave your suggestions down below, and we'll get to those ASAP. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I am out of here.